Hello everyone and welcome back to another Universe Sandbox video, and today we're going to be doing part 3 of making the solar system out of hypothetical objects. So, due to popular demand and lots of people requesting it, we're making a part 3. So I'm going to go through all the comments of the last video because I did read these. And yeah, a lot of people have more suggestions of stuff we can add and throw into this. So without further ado, guys, we're going to hop straight into it. So let's do this. So the first one, and there was actually multiple comments about this, and that was to add the planet that hit Uranus and knocked it on its side. So it would have been a super Earth a long time ago now. So obviously we need to go out to the Uranus area of the system here. So we're going to need to place something around this area. So yeah, we had a lot of people saying add the super Earth that hit Uranus. And then there's other people saying, so it's called, the possible name of it was Borius. It's basically a nice version of Earth that collided with Uranus in the early solar system, forming its rings, giving it a tilt on its side and causing Uranus to lose heat and become the coldest planet. So, okay, we'll go with that name then, because I never knew it was distinguished with a name or anything on the planet that may have existed. So we need to go for a super Earth, so something a little larger than Earth here. So what are we thinking? It'd be an ice world as well. So we'll go with a random rocky. We're going to place it roughly in the Uranus area, so a couple of AU away from it. So I guess I'll place it there. So we'll place it here. Good. We need to give it the name. So apparently it's called AS like that. Borius. Okay. So we're going to make it super Earth, so it's going to be larger than Earth. So we're going to 1.1, we'll go a little bigger, 1.125 Earths, yeah, something like that. Something it's either a significant size to smash into Uranus and knock it on its side. So I'll go with 2, or just under 2 Earths. So a considerable sized object. And then we're just going to make it pretty frozen up. So lots of, contains water at this part in the solar system. It had a lot of water hovering around. We're going to freeze it. There you go. We'll give it this could be entirely to personal preference how we want to design this. So, interface will go with a nice light blue. And then the base colour, it's mostly frozen anyway. We'll increase the sea level a bit just so we can see some of the surface pop through. So I think that should hopefully work. And then base colour, yeah. So, anything popping through yet? Let's just have a look. We may need to make the sea level quite high here. I honestly don't know. You can see stuff is moving, but I don't know if it's really showing. Let's just lower the water down a bit. Okay, so something like that. Then we'll settle it. Then freeze it. There you go. Alright, and then customize the surface. So, or maybe we just make it all... No, I want a bit of surface. So it's mostly going to be probably a white sort of surface anyway. So that's it there. Okay, cool. So what do we want to maybe a sort of paley blue kind of shade, maybe just a very pale colours. Maybe kind of make it look like Triton in a way, something like that. Let's just see here. I don't want to make it too intensely coloured, but we'll have a few sort of shades mixed in there. Some darker areas of rocks, maybe some lighter sort of blue parts of rock. This is mostly going to be it's mostly in the dark anyway, this planet. We'll give it just a slight atmosphere as well, just for a bit of visual appearance. So we'll just throw a random number in here. There we go, something like that. So just something basic, so nothing too new and too intense. Actually, no, it is a fairly sized object actually, so we'll give it something fairly respectable. And then atmosphere wise, I'm not going to go much with the clouds, but we'll have a bit of atmosphere there. Maybe we'll make it slightly thicker to hide that surface, but it's going to be a fairly basic design I'm going to go with here. Turn down the ray light. Yeah, something like that, I'd say. Almost has that Uranus blue to it. So, yeah, I'm going to stick with something like that. So it's fairly basic design, but, underneath you can see it's got a bit of a surface. It looks like it's all frozen up again anyway. Yeah, we'll leave it like that. It's just a frozen ice ball, just a giant sized, basically a giant version of the dwarf planet. It's really just a frozen ice ball. So, yeah. Alright, okay, so there it is, added in. So that's obviously roughly in the Uranus area. We'll give it just a slight, just to make it different to Uranus, we'll give it a slight inclination and eccentricity. So we'll go 0. Something very, very basic, just so it's sort of in that Uranus area, but not quite about, just so it crosses over orbits and things like that, just to really have a bit of a disruption. So effectively it would eventually collide with Uranus at some point. Maybe just slowly crunch that orbit down a bit, and then just eccentric, just a tad smaller, just so it's really in that Uranus zone. Yeah, there we go, something like that. Okay, cool, so we've added those in. Yes, we had a lot of people asking for for me to add this, so there we go, added in. Excellent stuff. What do you guys think of that? Cool. Okay, so then someone said, I suggest adding Kreisel Ladder, a hypothetical moon at Saturn that got too close to the planet and created its rings. You know what? Yeah, okay. If we want to go down the moon route, then we can. I mean, I'm not going to add all the moons in. We'll just add hypothetical ones. So I don't want the system simulation speed to go really slow. But obviously, we're going to need it to be quite close to the parent planet. So we're going to place it. I mean, Saturn. I mean, it's going to be quite close. I mean, if we just use the rings for comparison, so we'll actually add the rings in quickly here. So Saturn rings. Place it there. So there we go. So we roughly want the moon to be in that ring area. So, because obviously if it's going to be torn up by Venusian limit, it's going to need to be fairly close. So we're going to go random moon. We're going to place it roughly right in the rings. So we're going to need to tilt it on its side as well, just to make it fit in the ring system here. Oh, it's quite a nice Earth-looking world, actually, but we're going to have to unfortunately ruin that. But what we need to do first is just press play. So see, this could get torn up fairly fast if we're this close. So, okay, what we need to do is incline it, rotate it round. So we're going to want it to be there. So just so it fits in that ring system, and then just get it exactly right. Just slot it in. Yeah, that's roughly in there, isn't it? And then just make it a little further away, because I don't want it being too close to Saturn now. So we'll place it there. But I mean, that's still dangerously close. But you know, you can see it's roughly in that area of where the rings would lie. I mean, we just need to tweak it just slightly, just to get it exactly right. Oh, no. Oh, dear. No. Just something like that. You know, that's roughly where you want it to be, in that ring system area there. And then you just have to get the incline just right. Roughly there, a little bit more. I think we're roughly in place there. I mean, yeah, you can get away with that, I think. And then we'll get rid of that. Okay, so it needs a name. So this is the moon that was torn up. So the name that I've been given here is ALIDA. Kreisel Ladder? Okay, and then I don't think it's going to have flight conditions, that's for sure. So no atmosphere or anything. It's going to be just a bog standard moon that got torn up. So no atmosphere either. Size-wise, I mean, going by Saturn's current moons, closer to Saturn, it's not going to be very big, so we're going to make it a lot smaller. So we'll use, I think a size like Tethys would be roughly a good sort of benchmark. So we'll have Tethys as a comparison there. So I'm going to make it a little smaller than Tethys, but larger than Mimas and Enceladus. So somewhere there. So it's a little smaller, but if we compare it to good old Mimas and Enceladus, so where are we? So Mimas is there, Enceladus would be there. So a little bigger, but not as big as Tethys. So yeah, there you go. So like that, and then obviously delete these guys. We don't need those. Okay, and then what we'll do as well is we'll give it. Is it behind Saturn right now? And yeah, I want to move it in the sunlight so we can actually see the object a little better. So just move it around using the anomaly. There you go. So it's in the sunlight now. Obviously in front of the mighty giant. So what we'll do is, as well, we'll give it a cool, you know, Saturn's moons are very, very heavily cratered, so we're going to need to replicate that. So we'll go with Mercury and the moon are always very good ones to combine together. You know, you really get a good look of it. And then we just need to sort of make the craters sharp. Maybe with Callisto and the Mercury, actually the most heavily cratered bodies in the system, so I'm struggling to see this sky quite well. Let's just make it a little brighter as well. So where are we? Terrain. You know, a lot of Saturn's moons are very similar in aspect, so they're pretty bland, greyish worlds, frozen ice worlds. So we just want the craters to stand out, and then maybe we just give it a little more. Yeah. and then just get the textures correct, the ones we want. So Mercury's craters, you know, I want them to show up fairly well. Callisto as well, throw the Callisto texture in there. I think that's a good sort of representation. I actually kind of want to use one of Saturn's moons. Maybe, nah, definitely not. Ooh, I do. No, not Europa. I think Dione. Maybe if we mix Dione with a Mercury, get a nice sort of rough look. Yeah, you got a good load of craters mixed in there, looking very good. So now if we get a full look at this thing, I think that's quite a good representation of a moon of Saturn. You know, pretty bashed up, lots of craters going on there. Yeah, looking good. I'm liking it. If we obviously switch Dione off or Mercury off, yeah. So they're combined together. They're looking good, and then just give it a little bit of different colours. So maybe if you turn the contrast up, it looks even more pretty wilder. But that's more like it. Yeah. Don't want to make it too crazy looking, but you know we do want the craters to be shown. So that's looking good. Honestly, I mean, there's not too much I really want to do to this. Maybe we'll give it a bit of a brownish shade as well, just to have it a little different. Obviously, the main colour is the middle elevation, so that's where the real appearance lies. So, just a slight brownish grey to it, but yeah, we're going to stick with that. Just play the contrast a little bit, but I think that is a good looking design, good looking build. So there you go. It's obviously small, radius wise moon. You know, it's not a large world. So there you go, the moon of Saturn, the hypothetical moon of Saturn. There you go. So if I press play, I'm just hoping Saturn doesn't shred it, but it should be okay from that distance. I'm hoping, but there you go. Cool. Sixth giant would be cool for part 3, and the object that crashed into Pluto and the one that smashed into Mercury, stripping its crust. I mean, I've not even heard of some of these, but you know, if you guys wanted the part 3, we'll go with what you guys have suggested as well. So then everyone's taken part in making this really. So you know, it's kind of a little project between all of us now. Everyone, I've obviously gone with the most known ones. Obviously, like Planet X, obviously Planet 9. We've got where was it? It was Nibiru there. That's obviously a big name. The original X, obviously Vulcan, I know that's a popular one with you guys as well. But yeah, we're adding these lesser known ones that you guys have thrown in here. Also, we've got Theia as well. That's around the Earth orbit too. Cool. But yeah, apparently something hit Mercury at one point. Sixth giant would be cool for part 3. What's the sixth giant? Also, we have the fifth giant. I didn't know there was a sixth. There's a sixth giant? And the object that crashed into Pluto. See, I've never even heard of these. Oh man, there's so many ones here that I've never heard of. I mean, it's pretty wild. Add Oceanus and Neith, Venus moons. Again, I've never heard of any of these, so it's pretty wild, really. I want Nemesis to be a star, not a brown dwarf. There's no way Nemesis would be a red dwarf. It would be spotted. It's got to be a brown dwarf if it ever did exist. You know, that's why it's out there. You know, it's pretty far out. I'm not going to put that to a red dwarf, unfortunately. I'm going to stick with the brown dwarf. You forgot the fifth giant, which is bigger than Uranus and Neptune. It's between Saturn and Uranus. I mean, that's effectively what Planet 9 is. Although slightly... That's what... This is the fifth giant here. It's Planet 9. There's a planet named Hades, and in between Uranus and Borius. So there's another gas giant out here, apparently. A planet named Hades. It's all hypothetical. Oh man, there's so many comments. I mean, this could be quite a while to get through. So we'll add Neith in, which is Venus's moon. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff flying in here. We've already got like the Krypton gas giant as well. You could say that's the fifth. You know, there's so many theories. I mean, imagine if all this did exist at the same time. It would be absolute chaos in the solar system. So a moon of Venus. Honestly, it would be cool to see a moon of Venus in reality. Random moon. I mean, I have no idea how far away it would be. We'll place it at a decent distance. We'll put it there. I mean, I think we'll have to have similar characteristics to the parent, so I think it's going to have to be... We're not going to have an atmosphere, but we're going to have a pretty cratered, a pretty cratered world looking fairly scorched. So kind of like a Mercury, Venus kind of like design, but without the atmosphere. So first of all, the name. So it's going to be called Neef. I have heard the theory of Venus's moon before, so we'll go ahead and throw that in. Okay, so visuals. So first of all, I want craters. So, Vesta. Let's just some random combinations. Vesta Tethys. Yeah. Iapetus. No. Rhea. Rhea's always a nice one. You got a lot of craters on Rhea. We'll go with Rhea and Iapetus. I'm going to stick with those. Okay, so you've got some nice craters shown there. I just want to see the colours because I can't see these too great. So it's a little dark. I'm just going to turn my monitor bright. It just feels really dark today. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm just turning that so I can actually see it a little better. So there, yeah, that's better. I can really see. Okay. So we're going to go that sort of mercury brownish, the sort of more scorched looking surface. So go something like that. Middle elevation is the real sort of deal here. So, okay, and then low elevation is not much. So the middle elevation. So how do I want to... See, that's too much for me. Brown, greyish brown. Yeah, some of that. How does this look? I know it's got Iapetus on it, so it's going to make it look a pretty... What? Yeah. Iapetus, no, definitely not. So we've got a mix of the real different elevations. Ceres is a no-go as well. Callisto, yeah. Again, cratered worlds, he does fit the inner system quite well. Then how do we just want to display this? We put them all up to max. Lots of craters here. Oh, man. What's that line there? Why is that appearing on Rhea's texture? Pluto's a good one. Pluto's got some nice craters mixed in there. And it's got good elevation levels as well. Pluto and Callisto. Interesting combination. Yeah, we're going to roll with them. Okay, so how do I want this? So, that dark elevation at the bottom there. That's just contrast. Yeah, that's... Okay, contrast helps. Exaggerated terrain. Not too much. Contrast was too high for my liking on that. Yeah, that's looking... I'm quite liking that, actually. And then... Not... Nah, definitely not. Dark. I think darker area looks better, honestly. Like some darker... Now, where are the craters? I want some craters showing. Is it the terrain that we need a bit more? I do want the craters. So that's the craters there. We'll darken those down. Just have them scorched. Why is my craters not showing up? I want more craters. That's Pluto. If it's Callisto, isn't it? I want Callisto showing up a bit more. So you can see the Callisto there. Maybe if I use some Merc, maybe something a little bit more. Yeah. Sedna. Vesta. Vesta's a good... Yeah, Vesta's got a nice load of craters to throw in there as well. It's really cool just designing these, and you get so many cool looking designs. That's quite a good looking one, I think. Lots of craters there. I mean, or we could always just use one. Just have one texture. Turn Venus off, put that on. Yeah? No? It's pretty bashed up, isn't it? Maybe just really lower this, just to have that as the dominant shade. Rhea and Vesta together look quite good. Lots of craters there. I'm going to go with a mix between those two. I think that's looking quite good. Keep that as dark. Actually, I think that looks quite decent, actually. And then, not too orange. This is the darker brownish area for the higher elevation. And then low elevation, we already have as black, so we'll keep that as a really dark brownish colour. There you go, there's Neef around Venus. So, a pretty interesting view. It's not very big. I mean, what's it compared to the moon? I don't think it should be in... Yeah, 0.75 moons, yeah. I think that's a reasonable size. In orbit of Venus. So, what do you think of that? There you go. Looks good, actually, doesn't it? Yeah, a view of Venus from its moon. So, there you go. So, there's Neef. Looking good. Okay, well, and what we'll do is we'll throw a save in as well. There you go. Cool. Alright, that's that done. Wait, so Hades. So a lot of people mention Hades. So there's another person saying, add the fifth giant. It's not Planet X or Planet 9. But Planet 9, it's difficult because Planet 9 is sometimes referred to as the fifth giant that was it originally was in between Uranus and Neptune, or Saturn and Uranus. I think it was Saturn and Uranus, then it got, as Neptune migrated inwards, it stumbled its orbit, it got slung out due to the gravity interaction. But no, I'm going to stick to my guns with that and keep Planet 9 as the fifth gas giant. So, just so we represent it as well. So here it is, so Planet 9. We're going to literally put it in brackets as the representing fifth giant. I'm gonna stick to that. Keep that as the fifth giant, because I've seen a lot of videos where Planet 9 is referred as the fifth giant in the early system days. So that is that. We're sticking with that. Counter moon to counter Earth. I mean, assuming it has a moon. Add the sixth gas giant and fifth giants. We've got the fifth giant. I mean, the sixth giant effectively would be the original Planet X. Is that, what did I put Planet X as? Where is Planet X? I do have it in here, don't I? Where have I put X? There it is. That's your sixth gas giant, I guess. So that's further out than Neptune as well. A hidden world there. Planet 10 is the size of Mars and should be a rocky planet. Do I have a Planet 10 in here? Planet X and Planet 10 are different theories. Oh, no, we already have Hades, don't we? There it is, yeah. So everyone is suggesting Hades. I do have it there. So we've added some moons. You've had 3 random moons to counter Earth. Add the Oort cloud and Hills cloud. I mean, if you want to really make it customized, I mean, we can do that because we can use the clouds. So if I go to the sun here, fine. Yeah, that's actually quite a good idea, actually. So, yeah. So we'll go with Hills cloud. So it's 2,000 AU or 30,000 AU. Alright, so we'll do that. So what we can do for this is we use the special Saturn's moon clouds. Add this to the sun, and obviously we want to customize these. So what we want to do is inner radius and outer radius. So inner, outer. So we want 20,000 to 30,000 AU. Like that. That's what this comment's saying here. So this is from the user Planet 10 as well. So do that. Add it to the sun. So it should be a long way away now. All the way out. Yeah, it is there. Sun ring particle. It's very, very difficult to spot. If we go on flashlight, you should be able to see it a little easier. Or do we see it? Where is it? It is added, isn't it? Around the sun. Add ring to sun. There you go. There it is. So you can see there's the Hills. I just want to make sure I've added it once. It is there. Okay. Cool. The particles. That is pretty awesome. So there you go. That's awesome, actually. There you go. That's pretty cool. Okay, so now what we want to do is we need to obviously add that again. So now we want to add us the actual Oort cloud. So starts at 0.03 light years and ends at 3.2 light years. All right, yep, we'll rock and roll with that. So what we want to do here is Saturn clouds. We want in light years this time. I mean, because remember that the Oort cloud is hypothetical. It effectively is. It isn't. We'll add it in. That's a good shout. So 0.03 light years, and then 3.2. So we want this as 3.2. Enter. Add the ring to the sun. Done. So it should be there. So we've got Hills cloud, and there's the main. Oh my god. So there you go. So you got the original Hills cloud is in there. Oh my god, it covers a lot, doesn't it? But so where's the original Hills cloud ring? I think it's there, isn't it? Yeah, you can see it there. And then this is all Oort cloud. That is pretty awesome. But there you go. So you got Oort cloud covering it all. We can't really make it we need to use the sphere ring, don't we? So if I do Control Z, I'm going to undo that. So we still got the original ring there somewhere. Where is it? Yeah, it is there. You can see there's the original ring. If you look very carefully, it is there. If I add the actual whole Oort cloud, it needs to be more of a spherical shape. So what we need to do is we need to use the sphere. I think it's this one. And then light years. And then we go 0.03 to 3.2. Enter. Whoa. 3.2. Voila. Add ring. Done. There's your Oort cloud. Then you got your Hills cloud ring in there as well. Pretty cool. So, nice. So we're making literally the whole solar system construct here. So, pretty cool. I guess we can have the original asteroid belt as well, and the Kuiper belt. You know, might as well throw everyone in if we are doing this. So we'll add you in as well, asteroid belt, and then out here we need the Kuiper belt. So I mean that goes a long way as well. So we need to go. So if we go AU here, I mean it's roughly Neptune onwards, isn't it? So it's about what 30 to. Well, no, a little further than 30 because Neptune. So it's about. We'll go about 35 to. I don't know, 100? I mean, it's a large... The Kuiper belt is big. I think that's a decent representation, you know, in there. But Pluto counts as it, isn't it? I'm going to undo that. I think it needs to be a little... Neptune's at 30, isn't it? So we're going to go about 30... I'm going to go 31. So just a little further than the Neptunian zone, but, you know, Pluto's in that border region. So there you go. It's got everyone else in there as well. Looking good. We're going to stick with that. So we've got asteroid belt, Kuiper belt. We've got Hills cloud, which is all the way there. I mean, I went with the stats that he gave me, and then Oort cloud all the way out. So, you know, pretty awesome. Voila. Okay, nice. That's a good shout. So yeah, that was from Planet 10, the user. So we've got Hades already. Someone suggested Hades. Theia is slightly smaller than Mars. Again, that's not fact. It's not true. It's all theoretical, so we can go with what we want. I mean, there's Theia there. So, I mean, would I make it a little larger than Mars? I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? But, I mean, if you insist. So, we'll make it a little smaller there. Well, Mars is about, what's it, 3,400, isn't it? So, I mean, yeah, that's smaller than Mars now. There you go. So, there's Theia. But over Theia, they did say, you know, the theory is Mars size. So, it roughly is around that sort of size. So you forgot about the planetary club of Uranus, we've done that. Jupiter and Saturn kicked out the fifth gas giant, also known as Hades, but then that's Planet 9 as well. You know, there's so many corresponding theories and stuff, so we've already got that. So Vulcan, got that. Hades, yep. That hello everyone never gets old. Well, hello everyone. Okay, cool. Oceanus and Neith. So there's another moon of Venus. So we've already got the Neith one. There's also one called Oceanus. Okay, if you say so. Again, all hypothetical. This is not fact. But may not. I mean, it's more of a work of fiction ideally now, but we will still roll with it. So, I mean, it's all theorized stuff. So, there you go. But obviously, the Venus moons are obviously proven not to exist now. But, you know, they were a theory. So we'll go with a smaller moon, I guess. I mean, I don't know roughly where it would sit, but we'll go there. I mean, remember, they're all theoretical, so there's no facts. There's no facts we need to follow. We can really just make what we want. So, there you go. Okay, so this is called Oceanus, okay? Like that. Okay. I've never heard of this one either. I have heard of possibly Neith, the first moon, but I've never heard of Venus having a possible second moon in any theory. So again, we'll go with just a cool combination of stuff, I guess. Really, so we'll go with let's go Deimos and Phorus, maybe. Oh God, no. Ceres doesn't really work either. That texture's weird. Callisto. I mean, you cannot go wrong with Callisto. It's always a good one. What about Ganymede and Callisto combined? That can make an interesting look. Something like that. And then Callisto. Interesting. Okay. There's not many craters showing up though. I like the craters. Let's just get a good look of it. Looks pretty wild, doesn't it? Now we need some craters showing here. If I use Venus's texture itself, how does that turn out? Oh wow. Venus and a Mercury. And make Mercury the more dominant one, I guess. Could be an interesting combo. Yeah, you can see lots of craters there. Yeah. Alright, yeah, okay. Maybe more of a greyed out one, darker one maybe? Some darker patches? And something like that? Yeah! Yeah, why not? Yeah, looks fairly solid. And it's a little smaller than the first moon. So now Venus, 2 moons. There you go. Nice. This simulation is going to struggle to run now because we've got so much stuff in it. All those asteroid belts. But there you go. That makes running slowly. So that's why I don't usually add asteroid belts and moons, because they really slow down, especially moons, they really slow down simulation speed. Add Hermes. It's a hypothetical super-Earth within the orbit of Mercury, thought to have cleared all the asteroids within its orbit. Super-Earth in the orbit of Mercury? What? Okay. Super-Earth. So bigger than Earth. Oh my god. Random moon, rocky. Alright, so roughly orbit of Mercury. We're going to slam it there. So it's a super-Earth Hermes. Right. I'm not going to go over an atmosphere, though. But if it's a super-Earth, then maybe it would have had an atmosphere. I don't know. I mean, we're going to go with something fairly basic, you know, nothing fancy. Definitely no water at this range. Clouds, thin clouds, I guess. Something basic there. Pasty, lower that down. Alright, so just looking underneath that. So how are we looking surface-wise? It's very, very fancy coloured. We're not having that. It's already got some craters as well. Alright, okay. I kind of like these random spawns that have craters already. It's quite cool, actually. So what is it? What exactly is this? This is Planet 15 and Planet 9. Planet 09, Planet 15. So I mix that with... So Planet 15 is the one with the one you want then, with all the craters. Okay, good to know. Planet 15 in a Pluto. Yeah. That looks pretty good, actually. Oh, I do quite like that. Yeah. Hermes, there you go. It has an atmosphere as well, remember. Maybe just a slight flock of clouds. They are there, yeah, they're briefly there. Just a little bit of clouds, but, you know, they are there. Alright, okay. And then surface colour. Let's get this right as well. Again, I want some darker zones. I think some darker zones. Oh, wow. Yeah, something like that. Maybe make the atmosphere a little more... or almost orange-like. Red, orangey. Still very pale, obviously, but, you know, it is there. We'll go for a very reddish sort of look here. Yeah! There it is. So that's a super-Earth. So 1.2, yeah, that's already perfectly where we want it to be. So that's in the orbit of Mercury, and that is going to cause carnage, I tell you. If we ran this simulation, this would just cause a lot of trouble. Alright, there you go. Okay, look at how busy this is. Oh, there's so many objects. Alright, so what's this? You should add Phorus. It is literally next door, right next to Neptune, and some rings, and probably explains why Neptune stretches so much and why its orbit is so long and why it's so far. If you want to make a part 3, add this. I mean, okay, so Neptune distances now. So it's... they're not really saying if it's a gas or a rocky. I mean, I'd assume it's a gas. We'll go, or ice, more like an ice. Let's use the standard Planet 9 texture. I'm going to place that there. So it's Neptune distance, right next door to Neptune. I think it'd say it's a little, I kind of want to say a little further out than Neptune in that case. Down here. So this is called Phorus. Like that. Alright, okay. And then bands. I mean, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. You know, it's just a nice ice giant in there. Maybe just play the sides a little bit. I mean, I don't know how big this thing would be, but... I mean, radius of Earth. What Neptune is about 70... No, that's mass. What's... Neptune's radius about 24,000 kilometres, isn't it? Okay, so a little smaller. Make it a little smaller than that then, okay. I know Neptune's 17.1 masses of Earth, but radius is about 24,000. What's it in Earth? It's about 3-4 Earths, isn't it? 3.86, yeah. But in kilometers, you know, it's roughly 24,000, yeah. And then Uranus is about 25, isn't it? Yeah, 25. That's the difference between Uranus and Neptune. Uranus has less mass, but it's slightly bigger. And Neptune has more mass, but slightly smaller. But yeah, we'll have that one in there as well. So there's that. Done. Alright. Okay. Cool. I suggest adding this super. So a guy called Alex here. I suggest adding the Earth-sized planet that caused Jupiter to have its core all weird. I don't know if it doesn't have a name though. We'll have to skip that one. I need a name or something. Yeah. You should add the 5th giant that was ejected after Theia. I mean, that's Planet 9 again. That covers that. 6th giant. I mean, that's, you know, we've got something to represent that. We've added the hypothetical moon of Saturn. We've added the moon it hit, or the planet that hit Uranus. Yeah, I think that's everything. I think that's pretty much the whole comment list of all of the planets there. So that really is the full hypothetical solar system here of all the objects that were once thought to exist. You've got them all here now. That is a huge lineup of stuff. Oh my god. It's a shame we don't have the regular dwarf planets in the system as well, just to finish it off. But, you know, again, we've just got them, obviously, the main planets and then the hypothetical stuff. So, there you go. Pretty cool. And then there's Nibiru, the planet ending apocalyptic world. That one does look awesome. Very, very scary looking. Yeah, that does look cool. Right, so the full lineup, though. Here, you look at this. Why is this one rotating around? Very strange. Very, very strange motion. Where's its orbit? Yeah. Oh, man. Pretty weird. Oh, man. Ah. Is it yours? Is it still... That's more like it. It's this option here. It makes it all spin all weird. There you go. Oh. Very wild, eh? Just quickly put that roughly the right way up. There you go. So this is a huge object. This was we added last episode, wasn't it? So pretty cool. But there you go. So yeah, what do you think of that? There's a huge lineup of stuff. So we got Nemesis. We got the Teach one here. The original Jupiter. Oi. Oh yeah, this is a problem. There's so many. And let me just zoom out quickly. What I'm going to do is quickly save it again since we modified that. Go back to the sun. Okay, cool. Then we're going to save it like that. Done. Then I'm going to delete the particles and then use chart mode. So, come on. Come on, save. Come on. Delete the particles. Now we have a look so we don't click on any random stuff. So, Sun, Nemesis, Teach, Jupiter, Saturn, Krypton here, Uranus, Neptune, Planet X, Planet 9, the 5th giant. We've got Phorus here, the one near Neptune in orbit. We've got Borius, that's the one near that hit Uranus, Nibiru, Hyperion, Hermes we added today. We've got the counter-Earth, we've got the original Earth, Venus, Hades, Mars, Theia. Then we got Phaeton, Mercury, Vulcan, the closest planet to the sun there. Neith, that's the moon we added around Saturn, wasn't it? Pluto, Planet 5, it's a small thing like Ceres. Oceanus, that's the other moon of Venus. And then we got Crystallada, which is that the one of Saturn? No, that's the Saturn one, isn't it? Yeah. It's rotating way too quick for my liking. We're not having that. Increase that up. There you go, that's better. But there I go. Actually, it doesn't matter anyway because I'm not going to save this version. But yeah, there we are. So that really does it for the hypothetical solar systems. That is the finale. I think that's a finished product now. So yeah, guys, hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you for all your feedback on the last episode as well. And yeah, guys, let's go for a big 100 likes on today's video as well, guys. If you haven't hit that like button, make sure to press it as well. Let's try and go for that goal. So yeah, this one today was all your guys' ideas. So we've thrown it all in. So now it's kind of a little collaboration project between us all. I've added all the ones I knew. You guys have added the ones you know in. So we've thrown it all into one huge collection of stuff. A collection of planets here. So yeah, I hope you've all enjoyed it. Yeah, make sure to go for that like button if you haven't already. And also the subscribe button as well. Let's help us on the journey to 30,000 subscribers. Our goal is to get it in August. So we're so close now. So if you haven't already, press that subscribe button for more space content in Universe Sandbox as well. And more custom systems and things like this. Really enjoy making these. And yeah, guys, more feedback. Anything, let me know down below in the comments as well. But yeah, if that all said and done, guys, make sure you have a great day. Stay safe out there. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.